What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is a new show alert, you guys. This is Just Lauren. This is on the Chasing Reality Network. Remember, I told you guys that I was leaving Chasing Dallas, but I was not leaving my support of Chasing Reality, the brand. And there are some other shows on the network. I'm calling it a network. I'm claiming it, Andario. And so this show is Lauren England's show, and if you guys are not familiar, if you never watched Chasing Atlanta, Lauren England is one of the stars of Chasing Atlanta. Now, if you've been watching Chasing Atlanta from the beginning, we first met Lauren as Jaylon, and this show is all about Lauren's transition. She's going to take us through some of her actual procedures, and we've seen she's been open about her procedures in the past, about some of her procedures, and we're going through that process of her dealing with transitioning, dealing with her friends, her family, how they're processing her her transition, as well as her friends and her personal and business life. And so, one, I can appreciate that she's opening up these things to us, because I think this is something that a lot of people need to see. A lot of people need to see not just the oh, you were born a man, but you are now a trans woman, but one, seeing the process and also understanding how this affects the family, how there's a whole lot of layers to this. And a few years ago, a lot of people wanted to criticize Dwayne Wade, how he dealt with his daughter and what they have going on. And you don't always have to agree with what people do, but I think it's important to understand that the alternative to not supporting your child can be very severe. And so, hoping that this show will open up that to other people. So anyway, let's get into it. So we pick up with Lauren moving from Atlanta back to Alabama. Now, again, if you want to know all about some of Lauren England and her life and so forth, you can go back to seasons 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, we're on season 4 of Chasing Atlanta. But one thing we know is that she is the hairdresser to the stars, honey. She's been doing hair since she was in high school. She was making good money, doing hair out of her basement, her parents' basement. I mean, I think she said she made like $90,000 in 1 year while she was still in high school, honey, before she even went to cosmetology school. She has done people's hair from K. Michelle to Keisha Cole to Cynthia Bailey, so forth and so on. So she's legit. She's legit a high-end stylist. Hairstylist. But she found that she needed to go back home to Alabama to sort of reset. One, to finish going through the process, her transitioning process, and two, to sort of reset financially, reset emotionally. The other thing we've seen is, if you've been following her, we've seen her going through some bad relationships and some really bad breakups. And so she's sort of resetting all of those things. And so we see her packing her car up, and she is on her way to Alabama, child. Now listen, if you down in that area, it's only a couple of hours drive. I'm sorry, I'm looking for something. So depending on what part of Alabama you're going to from Atlanta. Sorry, I hit something on my phone. I'm looking for something else and I hit something on my phone. Anyway, neither here nor there. So we see it's only a couple of hours, depending on what part of Georgia you're going to. I think she's going to Birmingham, so it's a couple of hours drive. And we see her talking to her manager, and her manager says, "Listen, this is going to be a perfect time for you to reset, get some things in order." Now, what I find interesting in all of this is nobody seems to know she's coming. Nobody knows she's leaving Atlanta. She said she didn't tell nobody she was leaving Atlanta because she felt like all of her friends in Atlanta weren't really her real friends. They were sort of fake friends who were there for the ride. They was good. They was around as long as the money was good and as long as she could take care of people. But the minute she fell on hard times, the minute things weren't as lucrative for her, they was out. And she was like, I don't need people like that in my life. I don't need that kind of, when you got, with friends like that, you don't need enemies kind of thing. The other thing is, sound like she didn't tell her manager. And the manager was like, okay, well, what is it that you hope to gain by going to Birmingham. Like, what do you, and she told her, listen, I need to reset. I just felt that I was getting too caught up in trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to portray a certain lifestyle for everybody else, living for the gram. And what I can appreciate is her honesty in this moment. A lot of people do. Especially people who, they hang with celebrities, they've been on TV. And I think people think that being on TV comes with a $20 million check. Like, it doesn't. It doesn't always come with this, just because who somebody, who someone is, it doesn't mean that they have reached the pinnacle and that they are set for life. I mean, you remember a few years ago when the guy who plays Jeffrey, everybody was clowning him because he was working down to the Trader Joe's. And I'm thinking, but the man was working a regular 9 to 5. Yes, he was on the Cosby Show. Yes, he is an actor. But we all know that in acting, it's up and it's down. You on a hit TV show for 15, 20 years. Do people realize how long ago that was? That they were on the Cosby Show? Do people realize that Alvin was not on every episode, every season for the entire run of the show? Hell, even Keisha Knight, Paul, Malcolm Jamal Warner have said, listen, Mr. Cosby looked out for us and made sure that our money was set up correctly, but we still need to work. Like, we got a paycheck coming in. Like, we get a check coming in from the Cosby Show, but we still got to work. You know what I mean? Anyway, I went left. Let's get back to the middle. The other problem I found with this opening sequence was she didn't tell her parents she was moving home. She just showed up at her parents' front door with luggage. Now, I think they knew she was coming to hang out, visit, but I don't think they knew she was coming to stay indefinitely. And she was like, well, my parents always said I could move back home whenever, but, I just didn't tell them it was going to be now. So let me say this. Do I think some of this was done for a little bit of movie magic, drama? Sure. Yeah. I do not believe for a minute that Jaylon, excuse me, no disrespect, Lauren's parents did not know that she was bringing her happy ass home to move and live. I don't believe that. But even if I did believe that, just because your parents said you can come home whenever you want, hell, my parents told me I always got a place there, but I better call first. I better make sure it's good. We better have a conversation about some arrangements and what that's going to look like, how long you're going to be here, what you bringing with you, how much you going to be paying us. Like, you don't just get to show up at the front door with luggage. So anyway, and we've met Lauren's daddy before. Lauren's dad has been down in Atlanta helping Lauren when she had her shop and stuff like that. So we definitely know that we've seen her dad before. And her dad, is like, listen, I mean, I ain't got no problem with you being here, but you need to have a conversation with your mama. And it seems like there's going to be a bigger moment between Lauren and her mom as it relates to all of this. Her moving home, the transition piece, all of that. The daddy was like, listen, I'm here for it. I'm cool with you being here, but you better talk to your mom about it. So Lauren was like, well, daddy, we need to have a conversation about something very important. Like, if I'm going to be here, we need to talk about some things. And she was like, first of all, I need you to stop calling me Jaylon. He was like, what you mean? You Jaylon. She said, I'm not Jaylon. Like, I need you to respect that I'm Lauren. We've had this conversation before. You said you were okay with it. We never really came back to it, but I need you to understand that I am Lauren. And he was like, but you Jaylon. Like, and she said, Dad, I really, really need you to respect where I'm coming from on this. She said, I think you might feel like maybe I want to, like, get rid of my bottom part. Like, that's not it. But this is who I am now. Like, I'm a woman, and I need you to call me Lauren, and I need you to respect my pronouns and all of that. And, Daddy was like, I don't know about that. Like, I'll try. And she was like, but I need you to do more than try. Like, I need it to be more than you trying. So she took it a step further and said, listen, I need you to understand that Jaylon is dead. Daddy was like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Now, listen, I 100% understand. Y'all, I can't find what I'm looking for. I 100% understand why this would be a problem and a hard thing to adjust, with your child that, you had a son for 20 years. But at the end of the day, I definitely understand where Lauren is coming from to say, listen, they're going to have to get on board. Like, if you love me and you really here for me and you really down for this, then I need you to understand that this is who I am, and I need y'all to respect who I am and respect my pronouns. Like, I definitely need you to do that. So that is a to be continued, because we didn't even see the mama. So then we see Lauren meeting up with her two best friends. We see Barbie. We see her friend Barbie, and we also see her friend. What's his name? I'll get the name. Listen, my notes ain't in front of me, child. So, but we see her meeting up with her friends. And she's letting them know, listen, I'm back in town. I have moved. J Beats. Now, J Beats is a makeup artist. And Barbie is also a trans woman. And they've been friends. They've been friends for a very, very long time. And they're like, okay, Lauren is here. What's going on? And she lets them know, listen, I moved back. I'm here. I need to reset. You know, all the same stuff. She done said it 3-4 times, right? She needs to reset. And that she's in town for a while. She said, listen, I done talked to my daddy about it, but my mama still don't know. Child, I took that luggage in my room and closed the door. She don't know how much luggage, how much luggage I brought with me. Again, I don't know if I 100% believe that. But if she did, I want to be there for the conversation when she finally tell her mama, listen, I'm here. I'm living here for a couple of months. Like, I want to be there for that conversation. So she recaps them on everything. Like I said, the same old, you know. She just reset, and she said, listen, I had this really big deal that I had bragged about and told everybody about, and then the world shut down. COVID hit, and things just didn't go the way it was supposed to go. We saw that on Chase in Atlanta. She had gone over to China. She had signed this really big deal for hair. We know she was selling hair for a while, and things just didn't work out the way that I planned. You know, COVID hit. Like, the world shut down. I couldn't be flying back and forth to China. Like, in China, the people in China had bigger concerns. Like, they had to shut down. They weren't producing hair. Like, it was just a lot had changed. And she said, a lot of people think I'm lying, but I'm not lying about that. Like, I legit had this deal, but I just got to figure some stuff out. So then they ask about the friend, Lauren's friend, I believe his name is Devin. They fell out, and she said, well, we got into an argument, and we fell out, and then he threatened to go to the shade room to tell the shade room some of my business. Now, first of all, do the shade room care about Lauren England's business? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But neither here nor there. I guess the point is that we got into an argument. You supposed to be one of my best friends, one of my closest friends, and the minute we get into an argument and get to a fight, you threatening to take my business down to a blog. I understand the bigger point. The bigger point is you threatening to take my business to a blog. And so, of course, the friends are like, y'all need to work it out. Y'all need to talk it out. And Lauren is like, nope, I don't have any interest in trying to work nothing out, talk nothing out. Like, we were friends. We not friends anymore. It is what it is. Like, he can stay over there where he is, and I'm going to stay over here where I am, and life is going to be what it's going to be. Well, the friends decide they're going to have themselves a good old sleepover, honey, and they go over to J Beat's house. Now, here's what I thought was ridiculous and crazy all at the same time. Devin, the friend that Lauren don't want to talk to, doesn't want to see, is roommates with J Beats, but y'all decide to have the girls sleep over to J Beats' house. Y'all could have got a hotel room. Y'all could have went to Barbie's house. Y'all had other options that if y'all really didn't want to be around Devin. And Lauren even said, where's Devin? Y'all promised me that Devin wasn't going to be here because I told you I didn't want to be bothered and talk to Devin. But of course, Devin comes out his room because it's his damn apartment. He come out the room talking about he was on his way to go get some water. He see Lauren sitting on the couch. He rolls his eye and goes back in the room. So they convinced Lauren to go talk to the boy. Even though Lauren said, I don't have nothing to say to him. I don't want no conversation with him. He can stay over there and I'm going to stay over here. And it is what it is. But they convinced her to go in there and talk to the boy. So she goes in there to talk to the boy. And basically, it sounds crazy to me. It sounds like Lauren was staying with a friend. Devin was staying with them as a guest of hers. Because low-key, it sounded like Lauren was kind of like homeless at the time. Low-key. And then Devin decided he going to invite a friend. She was like, how If you're staying with me as a guest in someone else's house, how you feel like you can bring a friend? And Devin's thing was, but the person we were staying with didn't have a problem because they knew who the person was. Like, they didn't have a problem with it because they knew them. So if they didn't have a problem with it, why you got a problem with it? And she was like, I have a problem with it because you were staying there off the strength of my name and you got me looking crazy. Like, that was just disrespectful for you to do that. She said, but why would you threaten to go to the shade room? Like, why would you threaten to do that? Because I was hurt. So you gonna hurt me in the worst way you knew how to hurt me, by taking my business down to the shade room? He was like, yeah. But honey, I guess they done made up, child. I guess they agreed to let bygones be bygones. They talked it out. I mean, you know how things like this go. It takes a while for it to be perfect. Like, it ain't, you know, it's gonna take a minute for it to get back to the way it was. But I guess they decide that they're gonna try to work on their friendship, child. Anyway, that's the first episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.